and welcome. Thank you for being with us tonight on KUTV's news at 9. As is the custom, we'll begin with the highlights.
I expect you to serve the people of Kenya with dedication, professionalism, fairness, and understanding.
President William Ruto presides over the swearing-in ceremony of newly appointed CSs, calling on CSs to shun corruption and embrace austerity measures. Police IG Douglas Kanja and DCI Director Mohamed Amin failed to appear in court to provide answers on abductions in Mlolongo.
Tumeanza tabia ambayo si nzuri sana ya kupigania makelele na mambo ya vita na fujo. That is a very dangerous culture.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki urges Embu County leaders to shun political violence. And the Ministry of Health issues Mpox advisory on potential spread in schools as 2 more cases of Mpox are confirmed.
That's right. With the sign language interpretation, we have Moses Gitonga will begin. William Kabogo Mutahi Kagwe and Lee Kinyanjui were today officially sworn in as cabinet secretaries for ICT, agriculture and trade, respectively. Speaking during their swearing in at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto, while lauding their qualifications and experience, fired a warning to his new cabinet secretaries to shun corruption and instead embrace austerity measures and serve Kenyans with diligence and humility.
After Parliament approved the nomination of former Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, former Nakuru and Kiambu Governors Lee Kinyanjui and William Kabogo respective, the William Ruto-led regime is wasting no time. The 3 CS nominees today took oath of office at State House, Nairobi, presided over by President William Ruto.
I, Mutahi Kagwe.
In his message to the newly appointed cabinet secretaries, Ruto sent a bold and strong message to the new CSs, urging them to serve Kenyans with dedication, humility and respect to the rule of law, warning against tolerating corruption in their dockets.
To articulate this position effectively, we must be transparent, accountable, and efficient in managing public resources. We must be excellent stewards of public funds, taking a strong stand against corruption and wastage. As the implementation phase of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda progresses, we must get it right every time. I trust in your ability, readiness, and willingness to provide effective leadership and look forward to benefiting from your true and faithful counsel.
Mutahi Kagwe, who takes over the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, will be responsible for transforming key agricultural reforms, including vaccination of livestock, a move that has been met with a lot of resistance.
With their strong mix of leadership skills and extensive experience in political, legislative, and executive capabilities, these cabinet secretaries are very well equipped to mobilize the machinery of government, drive them to deliver services to the people of Kenya while steering inclusive development and economic growth that leaves no one behind.
Lee Kinyanjui has been handed the trade and investment docket, while his counterpart William Kabogo moves to the ICT docket. The 3 newbies into Ruto's cabinet have been tasked with the responsibility of pushing for the implementation of government programs and preaching the gospel of bottom-up economic transformative agenda. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, the High Court will on Thursday next week rule on whether it will set aside orders requiring the attendance of IG Douglas Kanja and DCI Mohammed Amin in court over the alleged abduction of 3 Mlolongo men. The decision was reached after Kanja and Amin once again on Friday today failed to appear in court. The High Court Judge Justice Chacha Mwita, however, stated that the order he issued on January 8th and 13th requiring the two to produce the 3 in court, whether dead or alive, will remain in force till then.
Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and DCI boss Amin Mohammed missed court once again on Friday in the case regarding 3 missing individuals abducted in Mlolongo, Machakos County in December last year. According to their lawyer Paul Nyamondi, their absence was attributed to late summons received yesterday at 1:30 p.m. via email. Apart from being unable to comply because of receiving the summon late, the lawyer contended that email is not a recognized legal notification channel and that his clients were not given sufficient time to respond or present their case before the orders were issued. However, the petitioners led by LSK strongly refuted these claims, insisting that the IG and DCI boss were properly served electronically through emails they had previously been using. The two were expected in court today to shed light on the alleged abduction of Justus Mutumwa, Martin Mwao and Kalani Mwema, who went missing on 16th and 17th December last year, with an order from Justice Chacha Mwita to produce the missing persons in court today, whether dead or alive.
To hear the response of all the respondents. Because one of the possible responses to the application is that those people are not in police custody.
IG and DCI boss have since filed an urgent application to set aside the court orders requiring their appearance in court, an application which the High Court has said it will make a ruling on Thursday next week. Kanja and Amin have of late been caught in a whirlwind of legal battles, with this being the second case where they are required to disclose information on missing persons. Theo Masharia, KUTV.
Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has urged leaders from Embu County to shun divisive and violent politics and instead focus on development. Speaking during an engagement with these leaders and grassroots opinion shapers on the county's development priorities at his official current residence in Nairobi, Kindiki hinted that the time for politics will eventually come where leaders will defend themselves based on their work.
Usidharau wembamba wa reli, gari ya moshi upita juu yake.
As political rivalry between Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's allies and those allied to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua continues to fill the air, Kindiki has today cautioned leaders from Embu County on divisive politics, urging them to shun away from political violence.
Tumeanza tabia ambayo si nzuri sana ya kupigania makelele na mambo ya vita na fujo. That is a very dangerous culture. And it is not our culture. I know, I am from that area. I have passed through Embu town since I was a boy. Unless you want us to continue that way, I plead with us, we stop that behavior.
Speaking at his official current residence in Nairobi during a meeting with his leaders to engage on Embu County's development priorities, Kindiki clearly urged them to prioritize development, terming it as the scale to be used during the campaigns.
The people who are trying to distract what we are trying to do for Embu and for our region and for the country will also have an opportunity to explain what they did when they had their opportunity. Ama, when the time comes for mobilization and we put in the party uniforms, unajua sasa hapo hakuna sijui deputy president, hakuna nini, we are party people, isn't it? We'll come and camp hapo, tubembeleze raia, tuseme ile tumefanya. We plead our case, isn't it? Sio kifua. We plead our case, tujaribu.
Additionally, Kindiki urged all leaders to understand and appreciate the government's effort to develop all regions of the country, stressing that it is now time for leaders to take charge and not politicians.
Mambo ya siasa ngojea bana. We will do politics. And if you see somebody trying to shine 3-4 years before an election, that one is a loser. For now, I am not worried about the political environment, not just in Embu, Tharaka Nithi, in any part of the country. It doesn't worry me.
Kindiki's call to these leaders, who form just but a section of the Mount Kenya region leaders, however, continues to face strong opposition, especially from the impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now, following the confirmation of 2 new mpox cases in the country, the Ministry of Health has now issued a warning about the potential of spread of mpox cases in schools. In a statement released earlier today, the Ministry of Health highlighted measures to reduce the spread of mpox in schools in collaboration with the Ministry of Education through health improvement programs, hygiene campaigns, and public awareness initiatives.
The Ministry of Health has raised concerns over the potential spread of mpox in schools following the confirmation of 2 new cases. This brings the total number of cases to 33 across 12 counties. In a statement issued today, the ministry emphasized the heightened risk to children due to their underdeveloped immune systems and outlined measures to curb the disease's spread in learning institutions. The health authorities, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, are implementing enhanced school health programs, hygiene campaigns, and awareness initiatives. The ministry recommends frequent hand washing, thorough sanitization of shared spaces, and vigilance in identifying symptoms of mpox such as fever, rash, and swollen lymph nodes. Schools are encouraged to maintain well-ventilated classrooms and regulate large gatherings, with suspected cases being promptly referred for testing and isolations until cleared by healthcare professionals. So far, Nakuru County has reported 10 mpox cases, followed by Mombasa with 8 cases. Nairobi, Kajiado, Bungoma, Taita and Kericho have reported 2 cases each, while Busia, Makueni, Kilifi, Kiambu and Uasin Gishu each reported 1 case. Active surveillance, contact tracing and testing efforts are ongoing, with 255 contacts identified and 216 monitored over 21 days. Mental health support for affected individuals is also part of the response strategy. Yvonne, Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, with that particular report, we will take our first break here on KUTV's news at 9. Engage with us on X at KUTV News, at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Munari. We'll be right back.
Starting Saturday, 25th January of 2025, the ever-entertaining, educative and energizing high school fair will be taking place at KU Graduation Square. The event will start from 9 a.m. and will be live on KUTV Kenya. The event will be open to all high school students free of charge. Join us and learn more on the academic programs and interact with the different faculties. Public lectures on topical issues will also be taking place throughout the week, with corporate exhibitions taking center stage as well. The official opening ceremony will take place on the 28th of January 2025 at the KU Graduation Square. This year's theme is dubbed Future Outlook: Careers for Sustainable Development in the Digital Age and Green Economy. Be part of us as we mark the 2025 KU Career Week Fair.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila woga watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele.
Kemuma.
And welcome back. We are also streaming live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. We will continue. Now, transport was paralyzed for hours at Duka Moja area along the Narok Mahi Road today after a group of Maasai Morans barricaded the road, demanding for compensation of 30 sheep that had been knocked by a speeding lorry. 3 people were shot dead and a police officer attacked at the admitted at the Narok Referral Hospital after his hand was chopped off in a running battle between the Maasai Morans and the police officers who had arrived to calm the situation. The youth, in what they say is a warning to motorists plying the area, burnt tires to barricade the road to blocking the busy highway, creating a long traffic snarl-up along the busy highway.
Wanasema ati walipwe mbuzi na before na sasa wapeani mwelekeo italipwa aje. Wanataka wakubwa hiva governor wakuje ndio aongee ili wapeane suluhu wenye mbuzi zitalipwa.
Na nimekuja nimeangalia watoto wako na shida, naona watoto wa shule wako hapa wanataka kwenda, kuna wagonjwa, kuna watu wote kwa ujumla. Lakini ile kitu nilikuwa nasema wangeongea kama ni serikali waongee na watu waangalie kama mambo ya kulipwa hii kondoo iko hapa. Naona kondoo iko wengi wameumiza. Na ndio watu wapate nafasi ya kutoka kwenda nyumbani. Maana hii watu watakaa hapa mpaka saa ngapi? Haijulikani watakaa mpaka saa ngapi.
Sisi watu wengine wote raia, sisi hatuna shida, tuko innocent. Hatuna shida. Sasa hii nasikia iko mtu mmoja ameuliwa pale, ameuliwa sijui for nothing. Kwa hivyo pengine life hiyo mtu wangepotea kama tungefuata sheria penye iko. Kwa hivyo mimi ningeonelea tu raia watulie, wangefuata sheria venye iko.
Now, the Kenya National Union of Nurses, KUTVNEWS, Kisii branch has reached an agreement with the Kisii County government, thus preventing a 3-day strike after the county signed a return to work formula. The nurses reached an agreement with the county employer of a myriad of remuneration grievances, among other demands.
The Kenya National Union of Nurses Kisii branch has reached an agreement with the Kisii County over numerous pay-related issues, thus averting a 3-day strike following the signing of the return to work formula by Kisii Deputy Governor Charles Obebu.
It's a good gesture from the governor himself to have convened a big team involving all the stakeholders and the authorities to bring us on the table, and we have had a very good discussion.
Kwa hivyo tuna furaha kubwa kwamba tumeweza kuzungumza, tumeweza kuelewana na hatimaye kukubaliana kwamba mgomo wa wafanyikazi wa nurses uweze kukoma ama kukusha ile warudi kasini kusaidia watu wetu.
Among the key issues raised by the nurses were the employer's failure to redesignate special nurses, provide comprehensive health insurance, and implement the 2024 SRC salary structure. Additional concerns included delayed remittance of statutory deductions, the failure to address the acute nurse shortage, and the lack of conversion of universal health nurses to permanent and pensionable terms. Furthermore, they demanded the employer's obligation to honor the CBA for seconded national registered nurses and the 17-tier grading structure for nurses. Deputy KNUN Secretary General Maurice Opetu urged the Council of Governors to always communicate, stating that the union is always open to dialogue. On the other hand, Deputy Governor Obebo commended the cooperation shown during the two-day meeting, acknowledging the challenge in the health sector.
We would like to request that we have such meetings when we don't have crisis, so that issues that we can settle without going into disputes or crisis, we can settle them and remain partners at work and serving the people of Kisii and helping the governor to deliver.
Moses Rianga, the union secretary, attributed the work shunned to normal remuneration dynamic in the labor sector, which prompted an urgent response. Moses, however, assured the nurses of Governor Simba Arati's support.
Once we have called a strike, let us engage as soon as possible before it kicks off. So thank you, members. We wish all the public that as from tomorrow to come and get services in our public hospital, and we are sorry for what happened. It's no more in terms of labor.
Ochieng Cynthia, KUTV.
Now, most people encounter customs and border protection agents when they enter the United States at land border crossing or airports, but these agents are also responsible for inspecting goods leaving the country. VOA's Chief National Correspondent Steve Harman reports from the Port of Baltimore about a significant trade in stolen vehicles leaving the USA for Africa.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection has a nearly impossible assignment. Try to intercept all the stolen automobiles leaving the country. Here at the Port of Baltimore, the hundreds that officers do discover annually are mostly bound for a particular region of the world, according to the CBP's Adam Rotman.
I'd say 90 to 95% of every one of our stolen automobiles is headed to West Africa.
Auto theft is a problem accelerating across the U.S., according to University of Miami criminology professor Alex Piquero.
There are people who are stealing cars and car parts to sell them very quickly in the local markets. And then there are people literally stealing cars and literally putting them on containers and selling them, shipping them all over the world, not just to Africa, but also to the Middle East and to Asia.
CBP uses mobile giant X-ray machines to scan containers and determine whether they seem suspicious and should be opened. The manifest for this container did not list any vehicles, explains CBP Port of Baltimore Director Rotman.
It's supposed to be only household goods in there. In this example, there's at least 3, probably 4 cars in that container.
This 2021 Mercedes-Benz, valued at $48,000, was fraudulently purchased in the state of Ohio with a stolen identity. It was intercepted here in Maryland and was intended to be shipped to the West African country of Togo.
This container we just opened today, the vehicle on the top here, that Honda, we've already verified through the VIN number that that car is stolen. There is 2 more in the back. There's another one hanging from chains.
Law enforcement says criminals frequently rent cars for a 30-day period, drive the vehicles directly into a container, and post a fake VIN, the vehicle identification number, over the real one. The car will not be reported stolen for a month. By then, it could already be on a ship on the high seas. Rotman's team hopes to intercept such cars before they head out to sea.
We noticed that the check digit on the VIN doesn't match what's supposed to be on a Ford truck.
Authorities in some countries in Africa are now working with Interpol to try to seize stolen vehicles that managed to slip past U.S. port checks. But that cooperation is inconsistent, says Professor Piquero.
Some governments will play nicer and other governments won't. You can't search every container. That's why the security at the port is so critically important.
With so many buyers seeking a deal on a used car, often with no questions asked, there is unlikely to be a slowdown in the global traffic of stolen vehicles. Steve Herman, VOA News, Sparrows Point, Maryland.
Now let's take another short commercial break, and then on the other side of this break, we will be back with the sports news, so don't go anywhere.
I am right here for your sake. Now, today we are going to talk about the beginning of a fall. But not just a fall, it is a fall never to recover. If you spend your time sleeping, na tumesema while you are drunk, your senses are sleeping. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. How are you doing today? I'm well in the Lord. I hope you are well in the Lord. First of all, I'd like to thank our Father in heaven. They say broken things can't be fixed, right? But that's a lie. Genesis chapter 3 verses 8. That evening they heard the Lord God walking in the garden, and they hid from him among the trees. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." Catch me right here only on KUTV every single Sunday.
Starting Saturday, 25th January of 2025, the ever-entertaining, educative and energizing high school fair will be taking place at KU Graduation Square. The event will start from 9 a.m. and will be live on KUTV Kenya. The event will be open to all high school students free of charge. Join us and learn more on the academic programs and interact with the different faculties. Public lectures on topical issues will also be taking place throughout the week, with corporate exhibitions taking center stage as well. The official opening ceremony will take place on the 28th of January 2025 at the KU Graduation Square. This year's theme is dubbed Future Outlook: Careers for Sustainable Development in the Digital Age and Green Economy. Be part of us as we mark the 2025 KU Career Week Fair.
Now it's all systems go as Nairobi Provincial Cricket Association NPCA 20 season gets underway this Sunday at various venues in Nairobi. The T20 season will feature 3 categories of competition, namely Super Division, Division 1 and Division 2. The Elite Super Division has 10 teams split into 2 groups, that is Group A and Group B. thank you for being with us. That is all the time we had for you tonight. I hope you are well informed. My name is Yvonne. Kemuma Moses Gitonga was our sign language interpreter tonight. Until next time, have a blessed night.